What is up, guys? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here and being subbed. If you're not, hit the button. And if you're listening on YouTube, hit the like. It's like walking in the room and hitting that light switch. Let's brighten up the place and get into the politics and BS. And when I tell you a whole lot of BS has been going on in these political streets, I have been barely able to keep up. And there's a whole lot of things that I want to get into, but I want to start with the ridiculousness of Donald Trump and the man who said that people who serve in the military, what is in it for them? They're suckers. They're losers. He disgusts me for so many reasons, but that is one of the big ones for me because when I tell you, I am the wife of a veteran. My husband is a disabled veteran. I'm going through a whole lot right now in my life, and it is due to my husband's time serving and a lot of the things that he has experienced as well as witnessed. And it has really been brewing, and now it's kind of like come to the head this year, but for the past several years, it really has been hard. It really has. And I'm going through it right now with the Veterans Administration trying to fight for what he deserves, what we deserve. So to hear this man who was born into privilege, who didn't have to work for anything that he has and has been propped up by systemic racist systems, if I want to be 100% exact, because if someone like you or I were to even get the opportunity to get a loan with some of these financial institutions, one little slip and they're on our necks and you don't get any breaks. They have propped this man up. He's filed bankruptcy so many times. All of his businesses have been failing. And to hear people say that he is a successful businessman, it's just a load of bullcrap. To hear people who are allegedly Christians say that he needs to be the president of the United States when he himself isn't even a Christian and doesn't believe a lot of the things that they allegedly believe. And I say allegedly because a lot of their views, it just doesn't even correlate with who Jesus even is and the example that he brought to the world when he walked in it. So to hear people like those people be people saying that Kamala isn't a godly person, but they would vote for Donald Trump, is asinine to me. It really is. But he has disgraced service people for so many years. I was about to say a word. This man has never had bone spurs. And ironically, my husband got bone spurs from serving time in the military for many years, doing the type of work that he was doing. And he's suffering right now in his feet. And he claimed, or had a doctor claim, that he had bone spurs before he even got the opportunity to be drafted. It was to avoid serving. They said that he had bone spurs. They should have said that he had a mental condition, which I believe he did and still does, and even worse, because I do believe that he is dealing with dementia. His own nephew said that he's seen the signs of it, and it does run in his family. So to hear this person talk about anything regarding the military and disgracing it disgusts me to my core.
Additionally, we're learning about an incident that took place when former President Trump visited Arlington National Cemetery for a wreath-laying ceremony on Monday. NPR was the first to report that two Trump campaign staffers had a confrontation with a cemetery official who tried to prevent them from filming. Trump campaign spokesman Stephen Chung denied portions of the report, saying that no physical altercation occurred, adding that the campaign would be willing to release footage, but that an official had tried to physically block members of the former president's team during the cemetery. Arlington National Cemetery later put out a statement confirming an incident took place and a report had been filed. The statement reads in part this way: federal law prohibits political campaign or election-related activities within Army National Military Cemeteries to include photographers, content creators, or any other persons attending for purposes or in direct support of a partisan political candidate's campaign. So, Mike Barnicle, the Trump campaign attended this event on Monday. It was to the anniversary of the death of some American service members in Afghanistan as part of the evacuation effort there 3 years ago. They're trying to make that a major problem for the Biden-Harris administration in the context of this campaign. But I know a lot of military veterans were very uncomfortable with the idea that Trump was there at all, and that he even at one point posed for a photograph with family members with a big smile and thumbs up on their face. Now, we should note some of the family members were doing the same, but that's their right. Donald Trump, it's seemingly very strange that he would do the same. And some of these veterans were sort of just aghast that even in any way, shape, or form, Arlington National Cemetery, arguably the most sacred place in our country, was being used as a backdrop for a political purpose.
Jonathan, I looked at the same pictures that you're alluding to now and describing at Arlington, taken with the former president, and the thought rolled immediately through my mind: is nothing sacred. That is sacred ground. And the idea that any candidate of any party would use, intentionally or unintentionally, use that sacred ground as a prop for a political campaign is beyond condemnation. It's terribly upsetting, obviously, to people who have buried loved ones in Arlington National Cemetery. It's terribly upsetting to many veterans. It's terribly upsetting to people who view it as a spectacle. And it ought to be terribly upsetting to any American who values what the military does for this country worldwide and has done for this country for centuries and will continue to do for this country.
And of course, this comes just days after Trump suggested that a civilian medal, the Medal of Freedom, was better than the Medal of Honor because the Army soldiers who receive the Medal of Honor are often either killed or wounded. And of course, we've been reminded of late how Trump used to refer to veterans, even deceased soldiers, as suckers and losers, a comment confirmed by his own chief of staff.
Listen, I am just really disgusted with him. And like the man said in the beginning, is there nothing sacred? And when it comes to him, no, nothing is sacred. I'm surprised he even knew what the difference was between the two medals. I really was surprised by that. I don't know if he read something, which we know he doesn't really read, but I was surprised when he even knew the difference between the two medals. But him doing a photo op at Arlington National Cemetery, I don't care if the family invited him there. The family does not own the rights to that cemetery. There are so many more people that have lost their lives that are buried there. It's not just about their family. So honestly, I could care less if they invited him there. His campaign, even if he has no morals, there is nothing sacred to him. They should have abided by the rules to say, no, well, we can't do this, we can't do that. It was a photo op to create a TikTok video so that they could create a video to try to shame current President Biden. And now we know, hopefully, future President Kamala into the Afghanistan situation when they withdrew the troops from there, which nobody really, I won't say nobody, but a lot of people don't know this because not many people are talking about it. Trump and his administration was the one that set it up to really happen the way that it did happen. This man, he praises the Taliban. He praises Kim Jong-un. He praises Vladimir Putin. He praises the president of China. He praises dictators and authoritarian leaders because that's what he wants to be. And I have a video that I'm going to be doing, but with regards to that. But listen, this man has no morals. There's no low that he will not stoop to because he is in hell. He is satanic. I truly believe that. And I cannot stand the fact that a woman who was working at Arlington National Cemetery was pretty much, let's just be honest, assaulted by somebody in his campaign when all she was trying to do was her job to prevent him and his team from doing something that is strictly forbidden. And they assaulted her. And because she's afraid for the retaliation that she would receive for pressing charges against the person that did what they did to her, she decided not to move forward. But a report was made and the situation has been closed. And they tried to make her out to be somebody that was Looney Tunes. That was, they said, having a mental health episode. No, the man that you are working for, the man that wants to get back into a seat that he never should have been in the first place, has been having a whole lot of mental health episodes. Listen, I got to stop talking about this right now. You guys can let me know your thoughts in the comment section because I'm heated. I cannot stand him. And I don't know how anybody else can, but I hope people continue to wake up and not allow this fool to get back into that seat, to be in a place that it would 100% be self-serving for him and not for the benefit of anybody else in this country. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for being here, liking, and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until next time, I wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.